peaceful and tranquil here along the Yarra River. Just spending a bit of time doing a little bit of detector testing, and made a couple of holes in the bank, and had set up a couple of targets as well with different weights. So I've set up a number of holes in the bank that a wombat so kindly dug out for me along the banks of the Yarra, and it goes down to about 55 centimeters, which is just over half a meter. The first hole is slightly below the ground. The first hole is 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches. Second hole is 30 centimeters, and that's 12 inches. Third hole is 45 centimeters, about 18 inches. And the very bottom level is at 56 centimeters, which is about 22 inches. Okay, we've got a 3-ounce lead sinker here, and we're going to be testing this at about 18 inches and then at 2 feet. We've got the GPZ7000, and this is 18 inches below the ground. We've currently got extra deep and ground normal. Right, now we'll move the sinker down to a 2 feet point. That's at 2 feet. And let's see if we can pick it up there. That's still picking up quite well. Let's change the ground to difficult. Nothing there. So difficult is definitely filtering it out. We'll move that sinker back up to 18 inches. Okay, that's sitting now at 18 inches. Ground is still on difficult. Difference between normal and ground difficult. Okay, now what I'm going to do, leave it on difficult, and just go back to off extra deep and into general. Still can hear it. And then what we're Okay, now what we've got is a 1 ounce sinker, and we're going to place this starting off at 1 foot below the ground. 1 foot. That's 12 inches below the ground. Alright, this is a ground type that is difficult and high yield. General. Easily heard. And extra deep. So we hear it in all conditions at about a foot under the ground. We're now going to take the same 1 ounce weight and we're going to place this down at 18 inches. We're in extra deep. We'll go to high yield and ground type difficult. You would definitely miss that. In amongst the noise, you'd be likely to miss that. So what we're going to do is change it on ground type to normal. Back to difficult on ground type, and we'll change the high yield to general. Just starting to come through there. Now if we change the gold mode to extra deep, we're not hearing it. Not hearing it at all. Back to general. Ground type to normal. and leave it there. And we go back to gold mode and leave it on in general. So I would say 1 ounce nugget, 18 inches below the ground. You probably need to run on general in gold mode, and on difficult in ground type. Alright, we've now got a 1.8 gram lead weight, and we're going to put this in at 6 inches. Let's see what we get. We've got ground type difficult and gold mode high yield. You can just hear that. What I'm going to do is change gold mode into general. You can't hear that at all now. Very faintly. And change gold mode into extra deep. You can just hear that. Alright, let's go back into high yield on the gold mode, and we go into normal on the ground type. There you go. So normal is definitely a difficult mode to run in, and difficult would be the one I would suggest. Now you can hear it's a very low single target. If we move that up higher, closer to the coil, what we're going to hear is a much more defined target. Much more defined. Here two distinct signals there. That's because you've got the Super Double D coil and just looking at two separate coil windings. Okay, these are the standard settings that I find best to be using at this point in time. So we've got gold mode, either high yield or general. General seems to find small nuggets as well, but also the bigger ones further down. For ground types, we suggest you use difficult most of the time. If you find a target, or we think it's a target, switch it back to normal and give it a go. See how that goes. Okay, the thing that we found made a huge difference was the volume. The volume is not the volume as such. It sounds more like a booster for the volume. So I would suggest going for that as a high priority. You'll find things come up really nice.